Since CARE's inception, some 35 years ago or so, since CARE came into existence, human dignity and the preciousness of life has been at the heart of everything that we've done. The fundamental question of what it means to be human, made in God's image as his image bearer, has been a fundamental issue that has motivated us to work against the devaluing of life in any form, whether it's right at the beginning of life or the end of life. But of course, we've now moved into a very different area in our nation's history, and in fact in world history, because we're not in the era now just of taking life, as some people have said. We've been in the era of making life. We've seen the shaping of human life with drugs and enhancement and so on. But actually, we're now in a very different era, where we're actually talking about faking life. And that's really one of the reasons why we're raising the issues today as a Christian church, to be in the forefront of saying, how do we grapple with these issues and have a positive message for society and try and change things for the better, as well as representing what is good in the development of science. We were very struck, I was very struck actually, I don't know how many of you went to the robotics exhibition at the Science Museum. Fascinating. But you know, the thing that struck in my mind, even more than just seeing the robots and the developments of technology in that way, was the banner at the front of the building. I don't know if any of you noticed it. Big banner. The 500-year-old quest to make robots human. We've moved into a different era. And for us as Christians, that raises huge questions. What's good? What's not? How do we help the people that we serve in this brave new world? That's why, as CARE, we've invested resources into this area, and I'd commend to you our website. There are a number of resources there for Christian churches and church leaders to get engaged with the issue, to try and connect, to raise the questions, to talk about it, which we need to be doing. These are big questions, and that's why I was really thrilled when, in discussion with David Andrew at the EA, and then later on with Jonathan Tame at the Relationships Foundation, we all felt this was an issue that we had to engage with. And discussions took place, and hence this day today. Big questions. We're going to be looking today with a number of people who are taking part who have real expertise in this area to guide our thinking. Looking at examples in our everyday lives. What does faith have to say about these issues? About the interaction between the human and the artificial? Can we teach robots ethics? Indeed, do the ethics come into it at all? And how, as Christians, do we relate to this brave new world of robotics and AI and the implications for people? Because that's the really important thing. I said we're very privileged to have a number of people with us today who are going to help our thinking, and there will be quite a bit of interaction as well as we go through the day. But to begin with, I'd like to introduce to you to somebody who has been talking about this issue for many, many years, sometimes to very deaf ears, I think, and that's Professor Nigel Cameron. Nigel is the president of the Centre for Policy on Emerging Technologies in Washington. You have his biography in the sheet that you have. He was a distinguished professor of theology and culture at Trinity Evangelical Divinity School and the first provost of Trinity International University. We've known Nigel for many years in CARE, and he's constantly been challenging us and raising the questions that no one else was asking. And that's why we're here today. He's just written 2 books, and you may not have them yet, but there are the books there. One that informs our thinking today. Those challenging questions, the robots are coming. Us, them, and God. Another one on the implications of jobs and technology. In fact, last night we had a very stimulating debate in Westminster about some of these issues. Some people just poo-pooing it as not happening, others really grappling with the issue.